Hello. I look gross. Now I've got that out of the way, let's move on with the video, shall we? I've looked at the concept of incels many times before, and most of the time I'm just pointing and laughing, but this time I'm here to learn and listen and figure out what the fuck their problem is. Because other than the obvious, right, women, I'm not sure why they're so pissed off. You know what I mean? I guess I could just take a guess and go sexual frustration, but that can't be all it is, right? So I'm here again on Inceltears to figure out what the fuck their problem is, and why do they make it everyone else's problem and not search within and try and figure out what can I do to make my life better instead of blaming everyone else for their issues, like little babies they are. And I know me insulting them in this intro is probably not going to help with the whole anger thing, but you know, tough love. Tough love. That's what it's all about here on this channel. Well, I'll go with the tough love angle anyway, and not just bullying and harassment and making fun of, because that's not what I do, okay? It's more succinct than that. I believe they call it comedy. I'm yet to partake in comedy on this channel, but one day I'd like to. What's the deal with hats? They cover your head but not your face sometimes when the brim's not big enough. What's the deal with that? Why do they give you small hats? The hats are there to keep the sun off, so why are they small? They should be big. It's a work in progress. r/India speaks. Consent is a Western concept. It's not a great start, is it? There are a number of scholarly articles which have established that democracy does not work, and that things like consent are only Western concepts which are being pushed by the radical left. Yes. Yeah, true. Yeah, so true. The radical left, they're the ones that are pushing the democracy and the consent, and I say 2 thumbs down to that. What are we talking about here? I saw the Holly video shared a while back, and I don't see any problem with it. Indian women are traditionally shy and need a social stimulus. This is just an attempt by people with vested interest to blow things out of proportion. Indian women traditionally being shy, which I don't know if they are or not. That gives you the right to rape? Is that what you're trying to say? So you're saying if a woman is shy, it's not them going, I don't want what you're putting down. I'm not picking up what you're putting down. It's them not being able to express that they want what you're putting down to be picked up by them, but they need a bit of help. I think that's probably more than a stretch, whatever you'd call that. Criminal, I guess. Holy cope. I don't remember cope being a concept in the Bible, but we'll move on. This incel wants to believe 80% of men are single. 80%? I don't think that's true. How did you even get to that? So if 80% of men are single, gay, straight, whatever, that means there'd have to be a good chance that about 80% of women and others would also be single, correct? I don't think there's that many polyamorous groups hanging around. Mixed cell, veteran. Thank you for your service, I suppose. I think it's probably higher. It's a survey, so they probably just asked people on the street. Can guarantee a lot of them were lying. Probably like 80% of men are single, while it's like 10% of women are. How would that even work? Is there just a huge proportion of lesbians that I don't know about? Like, yeah, there's a percentage of women that like women, right? Correct? I mean, I think we can all agree on that, but I don't think it's 70%. Let's be clear. The Turing is realizing that in Titanic, Rose threw a $250 million necklace into the ocean for an unemployed man she slept with once. A man who never even owned it. She ignores the explorer who devoted his life to finding it. Okay? Sure, yeah. Kept it hidden for decades and dumped it for no reason. She also let Jack freeze instead of sharing the door. Well, I mean, I think we can agree that there was room on that door. I think we can all agree that, but, you know, we'll continue. Never told her husband about the necklace and denied her granddaughter an easy retirement. The real villain of Titanic? You guessed it. It's Rose. You know, I've only ever watched the Titanic once, and on that first watch I would have said that the giant iceberg that they ran into was the real villain of the movie, but you know what? I've only watched it once, as I said, so maybe I missed some stuff. But if we're going to call her a villain, I think she wouldn't be at the top. I think it would be like Iceberg, the rich people, the captain. You know, there's a few other people on there that I would say are villains, and then, you know, you'd put her down maybe middle. I desperately wish to capture a woman to harbour as a slave. Just one second. I'm just calling my mum. Police. Urgent. Coping manlet. I mean, at least you're honest. I feed women my skin. Now, I don't think you should dox people, but there are some people that we should take their information, maybe give it to the police. Just in case, you know. Just in case. Put them on a register maybe. Could be a good idea. The way I could keep her in our attic. Use her as a beating doll for when I get angry about being mistreated by women all my life. Someone has to pay. May as well be a foid, right? I could do a lot to my female pain slave too. I could slowly peel her skin off and feed it to her. Oh my god. That may be the worst thing I've seen. Of all the videos I've done, that may be the worst thing I've seen. I'm not going to 100% of this, but it's up there. Someone put this guy in a cell, or better yet, under the cell. I could catch some hornets outside, like you could catch hornets. I'd like to see you try to catch a hornet. Yeah, actually, you know what? I would pay to see you catch a hornet. I'd pay you many money to catch a hornet. And free them inside her anus? I don't even know how you would do that. And don't tell me how you do it. I don't want to know. I could force her to eat my dog's poop. You own a dog? Poor dog. That poor animal. The fact that you have any pets or anyone that may or may not love you is sickening. And then if she pukes it up, I can make her eat that too. I really feel mentally satisfied if we're able to release these kinds of pent-up pain back onto another living being. Alright, psycho? I would not be surprised if this guy ends up on a Call Me Chris video. I think, you know, maybe before that happens, we should just lock him up. Away. Put him somewhere. Away from the public. Just any living being in general. Especially some wealthy white blonde foid that deserves it. Some whore that has never seen a day of struggle in her life. Pull her from a utopia of free cock. I know when I think of what would be the perfect world. Free cock. Food, drugs, alcohol, and clothes from Sims. Is that a brand that I've never heard of? Clothes from Sims? Or is that like Simpson clothes? Like, you know, the white shirt, blue trousers? I'm not sure. Post me on that. Give her literal hell on earth. Make her wish to God she were dead. But keep her alive just to suffer and torment more. Just like society does to us. See, you're always talking about society and how you're in this jail cell of society they've put you in. It's a prison of your own making. Have you not understood that? But of course you haven't. You've posted this. What, because you got rejected a few times? Oh, woe is me. Women must pay for what they've done to me. What, because they didn't accept your fucking ask out? Like, seriously? So because women have rejected you a few times, this has created you into this sadistic monster that we see now? That's what did it? Are we sure? Are we sure that's what did it? Or are you just not like this already? Sex is the point of life and is your God-given right. From No Hope, No Dreams. Drill Sergeant Greycell. There are new words popping up every day that I just go, ugh. Why? Why did you make me read that? Maslow's pyramid. Who is this Maslow and why did he own a pyramid? Upholds that the most basic of needs are the availability to food, water, shelter, clothing and sleep, which are found on the base pillar. Okay, I'm following so far. The following pillar underlines family and friends, health, sociability, and only on the third pillar we find intimacy. For this reason, I say that Maslow was wrong. Alright guys, listen up. Drill Sergeant Greycell has something to say, alright? We listen, and we watch, and then we make fun of, because he's probably wrong. His name's Drill Sergeant Greycell, after all. Being able to fulfill your sexual needs and having access to romance is amongst the most basic of needs, along with food and rest. You see, many species of animals abandon their children at birth and leave them to figure it out themselves, without any drawbacks. That means family and sociability are less of a worry, even for social species. Every species of animal, however, absolutely requires sex as part of their basic necessities. The only point there is in life, which is found in both animals and plants, is that the reproduction, sexually or asexually, on plants' behalf. Without sex, the species dies, and even manifests in violent ways. Being denied sex is a whole different degree of torture. It means restricting the person of their basic rights, that of reproduction. Prostitution and having to pay women at all for sex is just a sign of our sickly times. I think you've solved your own problem there. There are ways to have sex, if you want to, in a non-criminal way. You could pay a lady to have sex with you. There you go, problem solved. Like, what's the problem here? I mean, just like here, you're always whinging about, oh, no one wants to have sex with me. Just pay for it. Just pay for it. If you're that desperate, just do it. Just pay for it. You can't whinge about, oh, I can't, no one's having sex with me. No one will let me have sex with them. Pay. Go to a rub and tug. Stop whinging. Oh, I don't want to pay a woman to have sex. That's sick. That's sick and twisted. What you're presenting in your argument to get sex is way more sick and twisted, buddy. I hate to tell. Well, no, I don't hate to tell you. I love to tell you because I'm correct. I'm right. Cuck smiled at me when he saw me eyeing up his girlfriend today. I just remembered this too while I was reflecting on my day today. Oh, that's nice. Do you have a little reflection journal? You write your day in every day? It's cute. It's very cute. Dear journal, a cute guy smiled at me today, but he had a girlfriend. Her rumph. When I was out, before I stole £2 from that tramp downtown. You're an incel and you're British? That's rough. That's a rough gig. I walked down this neighbourhood and I walked around this red car that was parked on the curb. This guy and girl were putting some crap in it. And while the girl walked out back into the house, I was eyeing her up, mostly her lovely long legs. When I faced forward and saw the guy, he was smiling at me, like he was thinking, yeah, she's pretty, ain't she? I'm the luckiest guy in the world. You can mind read? Well, that's a skill. I was eyeing up his girl and he saw me, and he was smiling at me from ear to ear. Seriously? You can't spell cuck without the UK. Sure, yeah, I guess. I mean, you could spell it C-U-C, but then that'd be Kutch, I suppose. Or C-U-K? I guess that's still with the UK in it. Yeah, no, you're right. There's a possibility, unless you were just like standing there like a freak, looking her up and down. If it was just in passing that he was just, smiling at you cordially, I mean, that's a possibility too. But no, you're right. He was like, yeah, I want you to get in there. I want you to fuck my girlfriend. Come on, I'll watch. I've got a chair ready for myself, so let's go in there and do it. You shouldn't be jealous of 90% of relationships. Pray tell. A high majority of normie relationships involve some sort of beta buxing, what the hell ever that means, where the oofy doofy, can we just fucking speak English, please? Like, can we just normal words, beta buxing, oofy doofy, what is it, where are we? In relationships is walked all over and treated like shit. I've never been jealous of most relationships. Okay. Alright, if you say so, man, whatever, all good. I believe you, of course. I believe you. Because most relationships are simply cucked. The word cuck has lost all meaning, really, hasn't it? Just being in a loving relationship with someone now is cucked. Like, can we go back to when the word had its actual meaning? When it would be a guy sitting in the corner of a room watching his wife have sex with another man. Why can we not go back to that? Simpler times. When words actually meant something, okay? When words meant something. Sorry for my boomer rant, but I'm sick of it. I've had enough. It's why I don't care if a normie brags about their relationship. I feel no ounce of jealousy for an oofy doofy beta buxing a roasty. Firstly, I believe you, okay? That's why you've written a paragraph and a half about it. That you don't care about people being in relationships. You're not jealous of 90% of relationships. And I believe you. I 100% believe you. No sarcasm behind it whatsoever. Does this look like the face of a sarcastic man? Don't answer that question. Secondly, what the fuck? Oofy doofy beta buxing a roasty. That sentence should never have been spoken in the history of the English language ever, and now it has. And you've broken some type of moral code, I feel like, because what the hell does that even mean? I think one of the reasons most people look at incels and go pathetic and weird and gross is because of some of the language they use. And I'm not talking about like the harsh language where they're like, I'm gonna rape a woman because I can. I'm more talking about this stuff where they're like making up words, talking their secret little language like they're 12 years old. Oofy doofy beta buxing a roasty. No one knows what that means if you're normal, okay? It's like it's their version of pig Latin. Anyway, I think we've gone through enough of these posts to figure out what the fuck their problem is other than women. I think the one thing that I figured out that kind of correlates with their anger towards women and society in general, and just everyday people that they despise because they can actually live in society and don't have these type of issues. I think it's because they can't reconcile the fact that they have their own issues that they need to deal with, and until they accept that they're mostly the problem in their lives, they're not going to change. It's not very often you see incels kind of flip and go, what the hell, what is this? Why are we so stupid? Why are we so pathetic? And why do we blame everyone for our problems? This is what a child does. And until they get out of the mindset of a child, or that be a violent child, until they get out of that mindset, they're never going to change. They're never going to get better. They're just going to blame the world for all their problems and just continue to be this pathetic group of people that we go, what, you're wasting your life. Most people have had issues in their lives with people or society. I hate saying society, I feel like I'm the Joker. But society, and we don't instantly go, it's this group of people that's the problem, okay? Because most of the time the problems we create ourselves. Like and subscribe, and don't be like Grod, okay? Mainly the making up of words, but also just his relationship with people in general. Just let's not do that, okay? Okay, you get made fun of. Alright, piss off.
I love Shifty Drongo. Shifty Drongo.